We all know the school system does not teach our kids about financial literacy. That's something we have to do as parents, guardians, aunts, and uncles. You guys know I've raised 4 boys, and you could best believe that each one of them are financially literate, financially independent, and I can help you get there too. That is why in this video, I am going to give you 5 easy ways to start teaching your kids about finances, because if we don't, who will, right? Before we jump in, my friends, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep you updated on all wealth building information. Now, let's get after it. Let's face it, we're in a time right now where making sure that our kids, our family, the people around us are financially literate is mission critical. So for me, I made sure that they understood the value of money. And in order for me to teach them the value of money, I had to make sure that they understood the word earn versus the word give. Give in our house was not a word that my sons used. So they were able to earn an allowance by doing certain things. In the beginning, it started out with them helping around the house, emptying the little trash, doing little things that made them earn a quarter, earn $1. And then when they went to school, they earned their allowance by the grades that they received. So they earned money. So that was the very first thing that I made them realize. They needed to make the connection between work and dollars. The second thing I wanted to make sure that my kids knew was how much something costs. Literally, that they had to understand that nothing is free, right? So for example, if they wanted to watch television for 30 minutes, I made them have to pay a quarter to watch television for 30 minutes. And you might be like, geez, Carla, no, I'm paying for the electricity for the TV, right? I had to pay for the TV. So I needed that connection that you have to pay to receive things. That is so important. The third thing that I did for my kids, I would allow them to buy their own school clothes, to buy their own fast food, whatever it is that they wanted. I would use mason jars, and I would put inside the mason jars money. So for example, if I were buying them school clothes, inside that jar was whatever amount that I deemed appropriate to spend on their clothing. So when we go school shopping, they would go to the cash register. They would have to pay for their clothes. Why did I do that? I wanted to instill in them another layer of value so they could choose. You could go get 1 pair of the name brand jeans, or you could go get 5 pairs of the Walmart jeans. And I'm not discounting Walmart because I still go in that store and shop today, but I needed them to understand that your money can go so far depending on how you chose to spend it, your budget, the range, the value of things. The fourth thing that I did for my children, once my children were able to earn a paycheck, they had to get a job. Now, in my particular case, I allowed them to work in my company as their very first job. When they got that paycheck, they were not allowed to take their whole paycheck and keep it for themselves. I needed them to understand we don't get to keep our whole paychecks, right? We have to pay for certain things. We have to pay for our rent. We have to pay for our food, the electricity to plug in our electric cars, or the gas to go in those vehicles. Whatever it is, we have to pay for. Therefore, with my kids, when they got their paychecks, I set up little jars shelter, food, entertainment, clothing. I made them put money every single pay period in that jar to pay for their rent. And maybe it was only $5 or $10, but I had to get them in the mindset of understanding that when you get paid, you have obligations. The fifth thing that I taught my kids was about income taxes, because we live in a country where income taxes are required to be paid. So I taught them about income taxes. I made sure they got W-2s. I made sure that they got their little forms out, their little 1040s. I made sure they knew how to fill it out, put their names on it, and I made sure they walked through that process to understand income taxes, to make sure they understood where our income taxes are supposed to go in this country, right? For the roads, for the fire, for the police, for our military. I gave them that education when they were little so that they can understand it. I don't think enough of us as parents get that level of communication with our children. We gotta stop with our kids making everything so easy breezy for them, right? We gotta make them suffer a little bit. I'm not paying for your luxury items. If you want to drive a BMW, a high-end vehicle, you will pay for it. Because me as your mother, I will never, ever buy you high-end things. Could I? Absolutely. Will I? Absolutely not. Why? Because they will never understand and appreciate the value of money if I am always going to be giving them things that they cannot appreciate. The sixth and final thing that I emphasize with my kids, saving and investing. And I am very hardcore as a mother. So when my kids literally graduated college and got their first jobs out of college, their real first jobs, not with me, and they were still connected to their little checking account with my checking account, when they got paid, I made them put 3/4 of their money in savings. They were living at home. Their rent wasn't hardly anything. I made them put that money in savings. And how did I do that? I swooped half, 3/4 of it into their savings account that only I was on. You're probably like, what? How would you do that? They graduated college. They were grown. Were they grown? What is grown? Grown is when you know how to financially take care of yourself, when you live on the other side of the door of your parents, when you can eat every day and live indoors, when you can build your credit, when you can buy all of the things. 18 and 21 does not make our kids grown. In the long run, they've appreciated the lessons that I have given them. I am going to say to you, the more you give to your kids, the more you cripple your kids. You are not helping them. So if you want your kids to be financially savvy, you got to teach your kids the value of money. You got to teach them what it means to earn, not give. You got to make sure that they understand that things cost money. Nothing in this world is free. And anything that someone tells you is free is a cost to it. They have to understand taxes and why we're supposed to pay taxes. They have to understand how to save and invest. And when you are able to impart that on to your children, they will impart it to the next generation and the next generation, and they will become financially literate. I do not believe that our school system wants our children to be financially literate. It is our responsibility. That is why, now that you know better, you absolutely have to do better. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep you updated on all things tax, business, wealth building, and I will even tell you some things about kids because I have 4 of them.